Hey guys, on the next episode of Broden Cody Flow State, we'll be talking about ASMR and how it drives some people completely mental. We'll be talking about going to the movies, some of our favourite films of all time, lots and lots of talk about Mafia in this one, Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the greatest films ever made are based on the Mafia.
And then we discuss whether or not it's a wise decision to go to space.
That's right. All this, time travel.
And more.
And more. So make sure you tune in and, enjoy the show. Hello, welcome back to the Flow State podcast with Broden and Cody. How are you, Broden?
Good, thank you, Cody. How are you?
Yeah, good. We're back for episode 4, so let's get cracking.
Wearing a hat today, mate.
Yeah, I thought I'd change it up.
Yeah. Should I not wear one, or should I? No, my hair's too bad for that.
Keep your hat on.
I'll keep my hat on, mate. Everyone thinks I'm going bald because I wear a hat, but I'm not going bald, and I'm not wearing a hat because I go bald, and I'm not going bald because I wear a hat.
You can wear a hat for a number of reasons, can't you?
That's right. It's definitely not to keep the shade off my face because I rarely wear it forward. But it's
just
more of a...
It's a fashion statement.
Well, when your hair's quite long, it's really not practical to wake up early enough to do it every day.
Yeah, I found that. I was growing it out.
So you just kind of put a fucking hat on, don't you?
Put a fucking hat on, mate.
It's easier. It's easier to do stuff. I had some stuff I wanted to ask your opinion on.
Go on.
Have you heard of ASMR?
No, I don't. I have heard of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is it?
I don't know what it actually... Well, it sounds like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it kind of is because it's fucking weird. I can't remember what it's like autosensory, I don't know, masturbation, reciprocate. I don't know. It's to do with people... It's a type of listening porn, if you would.
Right.
So basically, if we were to get really nice and close into our microphone and whisper, and we talk like this, and you could hear the crispness in our mouth and stuff like that, it's just... And people like listen to it and feel comfortable and shit. I listen to it and get fucking angry.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes me savage.
But like things like
savage,
like the can going.
Stop it.
They love it, and there's like people who cut that like sand.
Oh, like they make heaps of videos.
Yeah, that sand stuff, and like I don't know if there's anything else here I can like touch up to do it with, but like.
Really? That.
And then, so one of the features of this ASMR, just coming from the sound perspective, is compression.
Right.
You know how, like, hopefully when these go out, they won't have the background hiss in them. But like, if you were to compress something really, really a lot and like bring the volume up of an audio file, you get this background thing. It's called noise floor. Now, it's the basic noise that when you go really quiet, you can hear in the room of anywhere you are. They bring that up so much that it sounds like...
Yeah,
and then
I've done that before.
Yeah, and then everything around it is quite loud in comparison, so the dynamics is different. And so basically the characteristic of a lot of these ASMR things is to have reasonably compressed with a high gain. And then you can hear people whispering and you can hear their heartbeat and you can hear their clothes shuffling and stuff like that. So you hear
That's horrible.
And then when they speak and they whisper, they go...
That's horrible.
That fucking noise, horrible. You know what I mean? People love this stuff, but like
Why?
I just never really understood like why people love it so much. Because to me, it feels like the people who like that stuff are actually like weird sex freaks.
Yeah,
but like they claim there's nothing sexual about the ASMR. And I'm like, to me, it just sounds like they listen to somebody putting their hand in and out of a mayo jar a lot, and just like, you know what I mean?
Who likes it?
I don't know. If you do you like ASMR, if you do, I'm sorry if I'm not. If I offended you, and you like ASMR, then you probably got more problems on your plate than being offended by ASMR.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
But it's just weird, and it's become this kind of like popular, like pop culture meme thing where, because like every kid in the world right now has some form of anxiety, and like, and the thing is, it's not just because it's now. I'm sure they have for the entire length of time between now and 4 million years ago. That's everyone's had this kind of thing, but now it's actually being recognised and acted upon rather than having people just shut the fuck up and go to war. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but like a lot of people are dealing with this now with a bit of ASMR stuff, and they will chuck on a audio book because instead of reading a book, they just want mummy and daddy to read it to them. So they have an audio book, which is
Is that
also
right?
why people tune into podcasts. If you don't have real friends, listen to a couple of mates talking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Talk to us.
Let's just cancel our own show.
Yeah.
Because I'm an asshole on the inside.
Why? Yeah, I just. That's disgusting. It's that ASMR. I hate it.
What did you say that the phenomenon was called when you don't like to
Misophonia.
Misophonia.
Yeah.
So what is that? Do you know anything about it?
Well, all I know is that if you're infuriated by the sound of people chewing and stuff like that, then that's you.
I think I might have it.
Yeah.
I think I might have
I'll
it.
cave someone's head in if I fucking go to the movies and hear someone like rustling plastic or something like that. It's just like you like ask my girlfriend. She knows, and I think she gets frustrated by it. But it's just like it sends me into a fucking state of psychosis where I just sit there and it's like stop doing it. Like and it's not. Like I've gone absolutely insane at movie theaters before because of someone the other side of the movie theater like really struggling to open a packet of Maltesers. They can't open it, and they spend about and it just keeps going. And like, and then they break for like 10 seconds. They know it's getting loud, and then they'll just go, "No, I'm doing it again." And they can rustle it, and you're just like, "What the? Just fucking open it!" And when you've opened it, pour them into something that doesn't make noise every time you put your big fat fucking stupid hand in there.
Pour them in a container.
In your hand. Stop constantly making noise and ruining everyone's experience.
That's a
you
very good
piece
point.
of shit.
I think you may have just innovated the industry by like, and this is a simple solution to your problem. When you go to the cinema, like they got a lot of cups, right?
They do. Get the cup.
Put the fucking Maltesers in a cup. Just say, listen, can we get the Maltesers and can we get a cup?
What about the people that get the singular popcorn and they must bite down on each individual popcorn as hard as they can? To make that. Stop doing that. Put it in your mouth. It'll dissolve. Yeah. It won't make noise. You can eat popcorn silently. You can, and no one does it.
Yeah, I have to eat it because if I don't, I get the popcorn seeds caught in my teeth, like in my gums and stuff, and I'm just sitting on them for days. So one of my favourite things, I just, have a big sip of me non-sugar Coke, and then just like when my mouth's all like salivating and stuff, I just put a couple of bits of popcorn on there and just sit in there, and they just go into my fucking, just push them up there.
Yeah, but even that's pissing me off too.
Sorry about that.
I can't win. That's just like you have some family behind you and they're all eating popcorn, and it'll be like a sad movie. It'll be like fucking The Green Mile in the scene where the fucking
hang on, how long ago were you going to the movies?
I haven't been in the movies in years. It'll be a sad movie. It'll be like 12 Years a Slave or something. And stuff. Shit where you probably, if it was happening in real life in front of you, you wouldn't be sitting there eating popcorn. Just like, can you just put it down for a second? It just shits me.
On movies, I went to see a movie a few years ago, and my mate said, we were on a double date thing, and he goes, let's go and see this movie, The Book Thief. It's going to be fucking sick. And I'm like, fuck yeah, it sounds cool as hell. He's like, what's it about? And I'm like, it's like World War II and shit like that. And there's this book thief, and I'm like, fuck, it sounds like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Books or something, And I'm like, let's go and see this movie. We go and it's like Cinema 3 still existed, right?
All right.
In Bendigo,
what's that?
Cinema 3. It's now Gold Class, but it used to be Cinema 3. It was just a small cinema.
Yeah.
And so we go into Cinema 3, and you're like, it's going to be a movie going to be a good one when movies in Cinema 3, because it was just like the fuck off one. Chuck them in the corner. And they eventually turned it into a Gold Class and made it fantastic. But so we go in there, and I'm like, yeah, The Book Thief. And I'm like, hang on a minute. What's with all these 50-plus-year-old women doing here? Mm-hmm. Like, this isn't going to be an action movie. What's going on? We sit down and we watch the saddest fucking movie I've ever seen in my life about this little girl whose whole family dies in fucking bombs in Germany. And then she makes friends with the fucking local Nazi family and like starts stealing their books to read them.
Okay.
And the whole movie is just it's written from the perspective of death, played by Ian McKellen. I think it's Ian McKellen.
Great.
And it's fucked up. It's the fucked up. I left that movie like everyone's crying and shit, and I'm like, I thought we were going to see Iron Man, like not really, you know what I mean? I thought we were going to see some cool ass fucking action movie called The Book Thief, and it was like, no, here, have this one. This is our sad warriors, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, wish I knew what I was doing before I agreed to come on this.
To be fair, like The Book Thief doesn't sound like that much of it. Like it's a book thief.
Yeah, I'm a bit
Like
like
it
what
could
book?
be.
Which
Yeah.
book? Have you seen the Da Vinci Code? Ooh, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I don't know. Is that about the book thief or is that about?
You were just hoping it to be.
I
Yeah.
was hoping it was going to be sick. Like not a good double date movie.
I went and watched Noah in with Russell Crowe, and at the end,
Hang on, you met Russell Crowe.
what's that?
You went with Russell Crowe.
No, I didn't go with Russ.
Yeah.
But
With
he
Russ, you know
he
him.
played
though.
Noah.
Oh, so he's all right. I don't know. Yeah, I don't, not familiar with
starring
the recent works
Russell
of-
Crowe.
Yeah, okay.
And at the end, it was the story of Noah.
Yeah.
But it was a bit. It was also like they'd added a bit even more
Yeah.
bullshit to it. Like
Yeah.
they've stacked it
Fuck.
even more again.
Bullshit
with
sandwich.
like monsters and stuff, like
All right.
like rocks that.
So
turn
he's got to
into
get two of them and
Yeah.
throwing pokeballs at him.
Yeah, it's pretty much. They've just. Well, it's already pretty fucking
Yeah.
far fetched. We may as well add a bit
That's
more
right.
to it.
Yeah,
You know.
might as well.
And at the end, just some lady gets up as the credits are just beginning, and some lady gets up at the front of the cinema and goes, "Well, that's not what happened at all."
That's fantastic.
And
Well, that's not what happened at all because she was
I
fucking
lost
there.
it. I lost it.
Oh, that's great.
And the people I was with were like, "Don't laugh at her."
Don't laugh at
I was
this
just
woman.
like clapping, and
That's not. That's probably the best part of the movie. I haven't seen this movie.
I could see her silhouette just rise in front of the screen.
Yeah,
You
she
know what I
probably
mean? She was just like, "Well, that didn't happen at all." Like she was obviously some Christian woman who's like, "Oh, Noah, that'll be a lovely
Go and see a
film."
nice
It'd be
biblical
like The
movie
Passion
with
of-
the family.
Yeah,
I'll take Nana with us.
and because they'd done it wrong,
Yeah.
well, they've added some actually stuff to make it cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was very upset, and yeah, she did have the family with her, and she was probably like, "Can't believe I've showed my children this."
Now they're going to have a visual idea of what happened.
Yeah,
I wonder if she did take her family to see The Passion of the Christ.
maybe that's a good movie though.
Yeah, it's a
the story
great
of
movie.
Jesus is a good movie.
It is.
Is a good story.
It's such a good story, in fact, that it's every movie that ever came out after that. Like, I mean, not saying that the
hero's
Bible
journey.
was a movie, but yeah, the hero's journey is that. I mean, it's Neo in the Matrix, it's
Yeah.
Harry Potter, it's Frodo.
Yeah,
it's-
Harry Potter.
It's everybody.
Well, every biblical story
It's
can
John
be related
Connor
to fucking.
from Terminator. It's everybody.
Yes.
He's the savior.
comes
Everyone's. There's this theme in movies, the chosen one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's everything, and
And
that's
the origin of the chosen one would be Jesus, wouldn't
yeah.
it?
Oh well, in our culture, yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's Dionysus and it's all these other
Ancient
cultures, yeah,
culture.
ancient cultures as well. It's all the same. They all had some form of virgin birth and some sort of family situation going on, and
Right.
like who's Neo's parents? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about poor bloody Thomas Anderson. That's right, computer hacker.
Yeah. Yep. The Lion King's a big Jesus-y biblical.
Well, who
Cain
was
and
the
Abel.
Cain and Abel? Yeah, because it's like that bit in 007 for England, James. No, for me when he drops 006 off the tower.
Haven't seen.
Cain and Abel, that's one. Have you seen GoldenEye?
I haven't seen.
Oh, better get on to GoldenEye.
Bloody-
Is it GoldenEye? That's GoldenEye, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that's GoldenEye.
Good movie.
Good movie, though.
Is it?
There's a lot of good movies,
Is
man. I have some favourites, some absolute favourites. Having a chat with a dude the other day about it, actually, and he's like, what's your favourite movies? And he's telling me some movies. And I'm like, that sounds good. And he's like, what about you? And I'm like, fucking Terminator 2, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Terminator 2.
And he's like, really? And I'm telling him why. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, like, Terminator 2 was technically innovative. Loved it. You could see Terminator 2 at the cinema or anywhere, in fact.
Yep.
And not have to have seen the first movie. There's enough.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think I ever to this day watched the first
First
Terminator,
one.
but
Yeah.
that's Terminator 2 was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, I
And
mean-
it used to come on TV it seemed like it was every month when I was a kid, and
Fuck
me
yeah.
and Dad would watch it.
That'd be a happy month every month. It'd be like, that's
Yeah.
the third Saturday of the month. Let's watch T2. But like with the best
action.
part about Terminator 2 was that if you hadn't seen Terminator 1, you didn't need to because it had enough information in the show to give you the info on the background of the characters.
He's coming back. And,
Without the pointless exposition, like, "Hi, Cody, I haven't seen you since that time we robbed the bank," and then like, "Oh yeah, I remember that," and also he was there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
just to
like
fill
forced
people
it
in.
in.
Yeah,
Just forced it in.
You didn't need that because basically you're following this kid around. A couple of Terminators show up. And at this point,
His
too,
mum's in the
in
fucking
the
thing.
mental asylum. But at this point in the movie, we're not sure who's coming to get John Connor and why they're coming to get him. Because
Exactly.
if you haven't seen Terminator before and you just know that Arnold Schwarzenegger's a bad guy in Terminator, and you've never seen the movie and it's just come out, you go, okay, so Arnold Schwarzenegger's come to kill this Terminator, and then there's a cop who's meant to help people, right? His guy's dressed up as a cop looking for John Connor. Obviously, he's trying to fucking save John Connor. Wrong.
He's the fucking bad.
He's
Terminator.
the bad guy. The Terminator's been reprogrammed to fucking save John Connor, and that was a mind blow. And then when he goes to get Sarah Connor at the Pescadero Mental Institution, she's like flipping out, and then they realize obviously that. So I think the movie was fucking just on that. Not only from obviously that's all the writing and stuff like that. I think brilliant, but that liquid metal man was no one had done that shit before.
In CGI.
No one had.
No.
The only other person who had done anything like that was James Cameron when he did this. Well, that fucking not Deep Blue Sea, something about one of these movies with the underwater submarine thingy, and he had like an alien, and it came out of the thing in like a liquid metally kind of water. It was water. It was liquid.
So James Cameron.
He did that because he did Terminator 2 as well, of course.
And what else did he do?
He did
Titanic?
recently Avatar. He did Titanic. Yeah,
He did all the cool ones, like with the 90s and the CGI. And
he did some really cool stuff.
did he not write Avatar and then go, well, I can't make this?
He couldn't make it. Yeah, he
I
wrote
can't
it a
make-
long
can
time ago. I don't look.
Like 91 or something.
I wouldn't say he wrote it. I'd say he just changed the color of the people in Pocahontas.
That's what everyone says.
That's what he did.
But that's every story, like we were saying. That goes back to the point we were making before.
The Last Samurai.
Yeah.
It's Pocahontas, Japan.
It's all Pocahontas. And Pocahontas is based on something else, I'm sure. Like,
exactly.
you could open a Bible and go, oh, yeah,
There's
that's Pocahontas.
Story of Pocahontas 1326.
It's like people just, they say there's like 6 stories. That's what they say. And people just lap that shit up. Like, if you just change it from like, some people like magic, so the Harry Potter version will work. And some people like animals. And some people like like blue aliens, which is the version that I chose to go for.
Yeah, blue aliens.
Because it's like cool and it's
there's blue
futuristic
aliens.
and there's blue. Yeah, and they're beautiful aliens, aren't they? Like
very
that magnificent.
sexy Amazonian
Yeah.
blue aliens.
Yeah, like the girl avatar and that's like, you're like, it's an alien, it's made in CGI, but she's pretty banging.
You'd still drag the old pineapple through it. I would imagine. Is that what you're trying to get out?
I don't know.
It's his words, not mine.
The pineapple.
I just imagine for some reason yours has kind of spines on it.
Yeah. Well, even the dude ones are like, you're like, yeah, he's pretty
Pretty
good.
Yeah,
Like he looks pretty putrid, to be honest.
As
like,
a human.
the actor.
Sam
yeah.
Worthington, yeah.
Yeah, in the wheelchair and like his shaved head and stuff. He just
His brother in the movie though, his twin brother, he was a good looking bloke.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was the
Same actor.
soldier. yeah, that's right. With longer hair.
Yeah. Sam Worthington's in a Terminator movie. He's in Terminator Salvation.
Okay.
And it's really hard for me to get behind. Like, I mean, Sam Worthington, congratulations, Sam, because you've done a great job, but pick a fucking accent. You know what I mean?
Choose one,
He just seems to be cast in movies that are far enough in the future that it doesn't matter that he can't act an accent. Like in Terminator, there's one, Helena Bonham Carter is like the face of Skynet in this particular scene. And he says, you know, you can't do this, you know, you'll never get away with this, main actor, basically. And he goes, watch me. It's
Really?
like, beg your pardon? I think he says watch me, but he's trying to do like watch me, but watch me as well. So he's like, watch me, watch more, you know, watch me here. And it's like, what the fuck did he just say? He's like looking at but he's acting in the face. He's like, watch me. And you don't know what he's like. He's fucking doesn't have an accent. But otherwise, how many movies have I been in? None.
Yeah.
How many millions of dollars have I been paid to ride a fucking CG bird? None.
Yes.
I can't criticize somebody who I have not done better than, and I would not dare say that I've done better than anybody, because then I got to prove it, and then I'd have to be a fucking arrogant prick for it. So I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But if there are 6 other stories, as you say, in, you know, like to tell, and we only hear like, you know, a couple of them, I'd really like to hear the other 5 because I feel like I've only ever heard fucking Hero's Journey.
Well, the thing I like about movies, my favorite movies are always true stories because they sort of escape that human 6 stories that the Pocahontas and Harry Potter and Jesus and all that sort of stuff. So I like the Scorsese, because he's just following a narrative of a group of people. So it can be a bit different then, because then you can develop characters in a different way. Like I really liked The Irishman last year.
Loved it.
That was a fucking banger.
Yeah. It's, 3.5 hours?
Something like that. It's a journey.
We watched it on the same day, I believe, but you watched it in the day because you were home during the day, and we watched it in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But,
as soon as it came, I was like,
day
Netflix,
off.
day off.
Yeah,
watch.
same. Oh, and it was great. And see, I'm very interested in that in the, you know, old Mafia stuff.
Yeah, well, that sets a good tone automatically because your characters can be so sort of badass.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like the way that they sort of the way he structures his scenes and stuff like that, especially in that one. Like it was so interesting to watch, and I'm like a nerd. I nerd out on like the camera. They didn't even cut the camera angle for that whole scene when he was like bashing that bloke up and stuff, and it was just like I think that's the best way to do it rather than action packed cut from this camera to that camera, make it look really real,
Forced
like
and Hollywood
budget. Like Bad Boys or something like that, explosions and stuff.
Yeah,
Whereas
it's a Michael Bay film. I think I don't like Michael.
Yeah, like a Michael Bay, like he'll cut.
Yeah,
Set one angle of the explosion, then he'll play it from the other angle.
And those lens flares, J.J. Abrams does those. But look, The Irishman, and like you were saying, is because it's following a narrative. It just happens to be something that's interesting enough that people would want to see rather than going.
Yeah.
And I know that they probably do adjust it a little bit for film format because they want people to see it. But at the same time, I feel like Scorsese probably has enough credibility to go, fuck that stuff, I'll do whatever I want. That's why I'm going to do it.
It's a movie, yeah.
That's why I'm going to do it on Netflix. I think nobody else wanted to pay for it because it was too stupid. And Netflix is like, we got tons of money. We'd love to have you on our platform.
Yeah. Instead of going to the Hollywood box office.
Yeah. And then you can do a 3.5 hour movie because people can watch it at home. That stuff has changed how those things are delivered to people.
Yeah.
And, you can watch it. You can pause this thing if you need to have a shit.
Yeah, you can,
you know what I mean?
You can watch it as if it was a TV series if you want. Just pause it because every time you log back into Netflix, you can resume playing, and it will give you like a 3-minute back in time and everything. So yeah, I did that. I think I watched it half and half.
The Irishman could be if you imagine which someone should do this. Download The Irishman from Netflix and cut it into 30-minute episodes.
Yeah. I think there was an article that said the perfect way to watch it as if it was a TV series.
Because people binge watch shit. That's how it happens. I'm waiting to do The Mandalorian, for example.
Yeah, you'll get hooked on. That's a great show.
Yeah, and I love it. Yeah. But I don't have a whole week of time to set aside to do that. So I'd be pretty happy to do that on a Sunday afternoon, as much as I would like to spend that doing something else. But I really want to ingest that whole thing.
Yeah, it's great.
So I'm probably going to get my 7-day trial and do it in a Sunday.
Yeah, and then wait until the change emails when the second season comes out or whatever. Yeah, I like that. Just everything about the Irishman, or like Scorsese in general, like the soundtracks and stuff, like the song choice. He seems to match music with his scenes better than any other person. Like him and I suppose I'm a Tarantino fan. Yeah, the music seems to take it to the next level. It's not just plain background noise. It's like the music's they time it, they sync it up to with what's happening, and it's just like it just adds a further element to the thing. It's not like dramatic John Williams music.
Yeah.
It's like this is a great. You can tell they really like that song, and it's from that era that they're trying to set. No,
he must have done a really, really good job. And the only reason I say this is because people say that if you've done your job right, nobody will notice at all. And I did not have a fucking one inkling to think about the music in that movie because I was so encapsulated with everything.
Yeah, with the story.
That it ran in. If I had made a bad choice, you would have noticed. When you just go, what the fuck is that song doing on?
Yeah, right.
But I think that because I wasn't paying attention to the music, I was just kind of watching the film and I didn't notice any of the music. So they must have done a good job. And the other thing too, with saying in saying that if you've done your job well enough, no one will notice. Yes. And also back on the innovations in movies and stuff like that with the Terminator Liquid Man, these motherfuckers were 20, 30 years younger in the movie than they were in real life.
Yeah.
They did probably the best job of deep faking, like changing someone's face to be younger, that's ever been done on camera.
Like by use of makeup or
no, it was CG. Yeah,
really.
They Scorsese said to them, he was like,
I
thought
like, you were talking about.
I want to de-age these motherfuckers in the Irishman, of course. I want to de-age these motherfuckers, but I don't want to have to let them work through the technology. Stick some blue tack on their face and just see what you can do. So they had to develop this entire system of tracking, shooting with two infrared cameras from either side to get pick up. Like, so if we have one camera here, we'd also have one camera there and another one on the other side, for example.
So like a 3-point.
But on the flanking either side of the camera, so one camera and then two infrareds. Yeah. And they would get all the information, and then they would de-age these people's faces, and they'd have to. You'll notice around the neckline of their shirts, there's always a really kind of sharp line.
There is, yeah.
Because they've got neck dangling, right? And they had to clean that area up because their necks are just hanging out underneath it, flipping around like turkey gobblers.
It's funny, like watching how like they sort of made De Niro look pretty young when he at the start when he first meets Pesci.
He still looks old, but I reckon that guy looked old since he was 20.
Yeah, he looks old, but he's also tightened up compared to
definitely.
how old they make him look at their like his actual age.
He could have played Popeye.
Yeah, but it's funny watching like he looks sort of young, but when he's like kicking the shit out of a guy, he's kicking like a 75-year-old man.
Yeah. And when
throwing a gun in a
he's like when Pacino gets up out of his chair, like at Christmas or whatever, and they see is Jimmy Hoffa, and he hops up and he's like
he's just like an old man. But there's one scene where just before, it's a spoiler alert, but just before Jimmy gets shot.
Well, it's not really a spoiler because it's part of history. Jimmy Hoffa gets killed at some point.
Yeah, but not by... Yeah, well, you don't even need to say by who by, but he's running in front of De Niro up the stairs. And, he, like, gets a bit of, like, a spring in his step up there. I was like, that doesn't... They've made him do that to make him look younger. Like, he didn't need to run up there. Yeah.
But and that's the thing about that movie, too, is, when you think of mafia movies and stuff like that, obviously a lot of people think of Goodfellas, which has... Pacino's never worked with... I don't think he's ever worked with Martin Scorsese before. But when you think of that, you think of Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci, who's in the film. And what I really liked about Joe Pesci being in this movie is he's normally a sidekick. He's like, what are you doing this, man? He's like a smart-ass, wise guy sidekick. In this movie, he was the father figure to these two master actors, you know what I mean? To Al Pacino and fucking Robert De Niro. He was like their fucking father figure. And he never put that voice on the whole time. He was cool, he was calm, and he was just, he acts like, he can act, man can act. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
In real life, he's hilarious. But in this movie, he was like serious. He never did a joke or anything like that. He was fucking just awesome. There's like a bit where Pacino's losing his shit and in the movie, and Joe Pesci's just kind of keeping it cool, and I'm just like, this is one of those typecast roles where he would normally be like, but he's just keeping it together, doing it, and like I suppose that's part of his character. But like, fuck it, just I knew he was a good actor, but I've only ever seen him doing like opposite Danny Glover doing comedy roles in Lethal Weapon and shit like that, and Gone Fishing and stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he does like. I suppose Scorsese always casts him as the angry fucking psycho.
Yeah.
Well, at least in 2 movies he has that I'm aware of.
How good
Casino,
was that? Casino, of course, yeah. But how good was that part in Goodfellas? Did you think I'm funny?
Yeah, that was his Oscar-winning performance.
And he made it up on the spot, he said. And that was one of the points where because we all watched that 20-minute back to behind-the-scenes thing. And he said,
and the DVD extra.
Yeah. He goes, when did you know that this was going to work? And he goes, at that scene at the Bowser when De Niro and Pesci meet for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And he starts making up lines. He asks him.
Pesci does?
Yeah, he goes, what's your name? And he's like, what's his name, Jack? No,
I forget.
Frank. Frank. He's like, Frank. He's like, yeah. And he goes, what's your name? And he goes,
where do you hang out? Where you from?
Yeah, where you from? He doesn't answer him, and he's like, that's not the line. And he's like, perfect. And he goes, I wasn't going to fucking say, no, don't do that, because this is the guy.
He was like, what's your name?
Yeah. He goes, I'm not going to tell Joe Pesci wrong, don't do that, because this is the guy who came up with, do you think I'm funny?
Yeah,
and won a fucking Oscar, and still, that's like probably one of the most interesting fucking scenes. There
was a funny thing they said, and he's like, I hang out at the bocce club or something.
Yeah, the bocce club. What's up with bocce?
And he's like, I don't play. It's not a bocce club. It's a bar or something. And he's just like, oh yeah, you play bocce?
No, it's a bar.
Like, yeah, that's another thing I like about Scorsese's like the dialogue.
Yeah.
It's always like funny, but it's not like we're putting a joke in this bit. It needs to be funny. It's just like a sort of a natural. There's a natural humor to Scorsese's movies. Like comedy movies to me, like some are like funny, but it seems like it's all so forced and written.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the funniest movies is like that scene when he's going off in Goodfellas, when he's like, "How am I funny?" Like that's funny to watch because he's so angry and I don't know. It just seems more authentic.
And it's a situation you can see yourself in, except
Yeah,
you're not in
frightening.
it. So it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's laughter is a human's reaction to learning shit, right? So that's why when someone tells you a new factoid, you're like, oh. But when you see that situation, you're like, fuck, how are these people dealing with this thing? And you watch it and you go, that's funny. Like this, it's obviously if you're in that situation, it's not funny.
Yeah.
But when you're watching it, you're like, fuck, that's great because you know they're actors, they're getting paid, they're having a good time, and he didn't really get shot. But it's it's the perfect example of a fucking improvised scene that just went really well.
Yeah.
Good thing. Really enjoyed it.
Keep it rolling, and everyone just goes along, rolls with the punches.
You got any favorite besides obviously that one? You got any favorite movies or directors or anything like that?
I like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I think that would probably be one of my favorite movies.
And you're talking about Tarantino's dialogue. It's Martin Scorsese's dialogue, isn't it? I find it interesting that you can kind of tell a movie, tell who wrote a movie by the dialogue. I mean, Kevin Smith has a very particular type of dialogue. Yeah. Martin Scorsese, as you said, has a very particular type.
There's that the guy narrating pretty much through the whole, at least through the whole half, the first half of the movie. Like Ray Liotta in The Goodfellas and De Niro in Casino.
He just kind of disappears somewhere towards the end, though, doesn't he? I didn't notice the narration until
for like half an hour, and then he comes back, and it's just like, and then he comes back to explaining shit. Yeah. Same thing happens in Casino, I think. Yeah, it's a good way to. Usually, your narrator would give you the shits, but it's like, I don't know, it's done in such a way. It's in and out. DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street was doing it as well.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, have you not seen that?
I haven't seen it. I think I might have
that's a good
Googled the bit where she spreads her legs and there's a camera in the doll or something like that just because I heard it was hot.
Yeah, it's a good scene. Yeah, yeah, it's a good scene. There's a couple of good ones with Margot Robbie in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're taking our names.
Yeah.
But they won't take our freedom.
Exactly right. That's a good movie.
What's that? Braveheart.
Braveheart,
good movie. Mel Gibson, not quite a good bloke though, is he?
He's just
I'm sure I'd hang out with him. He'd be like your crazy, slightly racist mate, and you'd be like, "Oh, Mel, fucking hell, Mel, come on, mate, my mates are here.
Yeah,
stop it."
You wouldn't want to you'd go out on the beers with him, but you wouldn't.
Yeah, he'd know how to party.
Bring your wife.
Yeah. Oh no, you wouldn't. She'd definitely cop a bit of sexual abuse from the old Mel Gibson.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah. Whew.
It's not the type of bloke you bring around your coloured friends. Mr. Gibson.
I don't know.
You mentioned The Wolf of Wall Street. I haven't seen it.
Okay, yeah.
I haven't seen it.
We'll get on it.
Yeah.
That's all I can say to you.
Yeah, cool.
It's another Scorsese classic.
Oh, really? Is it? I didn't know it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, my word it is.
Yeah. I thought he only did Mafia movies.
No. He does does a bit of it all, doesn't he? What's that movie with the Boston Coppers?
That's the same thing. That's the same thing, essentially.
Well, they're mobsters, aren't they?
Yeah. Is it Irish mobs? Is it with Mark Wahlberg?
And Jack Nicholson.
And Leonardo.
And Leo, yeah.
And Matt Damon.
Yeah, all of them.
That's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
What's that called?
Forget.
The Boston Cop movie.
It's called something...
The three actors in a movie.
We don't know, but if you know...
Alec Baldwin's in it.
Alec Baldwin is in it, yeah.
The Departed.
He's a funny man. The Departed, yeah.
The Departed. Good movie.
Yep.
Very cool movie.
Movie.
I liked that one. I suppose he does he makes a lot of crime, I suppose, movies.
That was in a different vein to the Casino and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was still good.
Don Rickles was in Casino.
Don Rickles in
The
Casino.
Roast King.
Yep.
What a legend.
We had Jim Norton playing Don Rickles in The Irishman.
Yeah. That was great. And apparently that's a true story.
He sounded exactly like him.
Yeah, but what he was saying to those Mafia people apparently happened because Don Rickles didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he was using Don Rickles' material.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Yeah. I reckon I've seen him do that before. Not those Italians.
Yeah, I've heard him tell that story, which is fucked. My goodness. You wouldn't want to mess with those guys, would you?
He did a circumcision joke that was his joke for sure. No, you wouldn't. I don't know. Do you reckon that definitely as bad as the movies portray, I suppose?
Oh, I would probably imagine that the movies try to make them look a little more glamorous, but I'm sure they'd still kill your dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine that the horse head scene from The Godfather has happened before.
I'll tell you what's a great. You know what? I just thought of this. One of my favorite mob movies.
What?
Death to Smoochie. Have you seen this movie?
No.
It's got Edward Norton and Robin Williams in it.
Right.
And Robin Williams is a beloved children's character. Like, you know, he's called Rainbow Randolph, and he's kind of a bit like a Willy Wonka-ish sort of character, but also like Uncle Sam, and he's got like rainbow colours all over him and stuff. And, you know, he's just fantastic.
What's it called?
It's called Death to Smoochie.
Mm-hmm.
And Edward Norton, he's a guy who plays at drug rehab centres in a big, like, you know, Homer Simpson made mattress costume, like as a hippo. And he plays this character called Smoochie, and he ends up taking over Rainbow Randolph's show, and Rainbow Randolph goes crazy and tries to kill Smoochie. You know what I mean? And
is it violent?
It's fucking hilarious. It's violent in some way, but it's like it's not a kids' movie. It's about these two guys in the children's entertainment industry.
That have a rivalry.
Yeah, and then Rainbow Randolph goes like, you know, off the rails and
good.
Fucking buys a gun from some Irish mafia and fucking tries to shoot this dude. Danny DeVito's in it as well, and I love Danny DeVito. He's the best. But there's a funny scene, one of the funniest scenes. Me and my friend Glenn used to watch this when we were at high school. He tries to sabotage his show because he's filming the show, and like they've got all the kids are crowding around the hippo, whatever he is, the rhino or whatever the fuck he is, Death to Smoochie. The Smoochie, hanging around the Smoochie, and they're like, open up the thing, oh, what kind of biscuit is it? He opens it up, and Rainbow Randolph baked a bunch of cookies that looked like massive cocks. And he pulls out the biscuit and he goes, it's a rocket ship! Wow! And they start playing, and he recovers really well. And Randolph comes out from the back, from behind the scenes. He goes, no! It's a fucking cock! It's a cock! A BB! A penis! It's just peak Robin Williams. It's the funniest. Like, no one knows about this movie, but if you can find Death to Smoochie, have a watch because that is hilarious.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Very, very, very good movie. I think it's an early 2000s movie, but it's fucking solid gold. Very, very good Irish mafia movie.
Yep.
There's a lot of good ones. I'm sure there's plenty more, but that one's a solid one. Robin Williams was a fucking boss. Like,
yeah, he was.
Troubled the boss, but what a boss.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He did a lot of stand-up after even he was in films and stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw one, and it was obviously a riot, but I could tell he was having more fun, and it wasn't the audience.
Yeah.
I mean, they were having a great time, but he was having a better time.
Yeah, his whole thing was like you just couldn't control him.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
On sets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, just a nutter.
Absolutely.
Just fun.
Jumanji.
Yeah,
I love that. I just thought of Robin Williams, and then I just thought of Jumanji.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I think that might have been the first thing I saw with him in it.
Okay.
Because, like, obviously, I was a little kid when it came out.
I think I watched Flubber.
Oh, well, was that after Jumanji?
Possibly.
Who knows? Flubber was great. The Absent-Minded Professor.
Yeah.
That was the
professor.
The professors. Have you ever seen The Absent-Minded Professor? It was an earlier film. It's the same film, and Flubber is the operative word. But yeah, it's the same movie. It's just black and white. I'm pretty sure. Very early. Very cool.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that.
What's that?
There's some good. Speaking of like movies and stuff, did you ever watch The Peaky Blinders?
No, I didn't watch it. That's what year is that set?
20s.
20s.
1920s.
We're in the 20s now.
It's post World War One.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, it's good. It's definitely worth watching.
Give me the gist. Just pretend you have to really make me interested in watching this.
British gangsters.
Yep.
Start off running a betting syndicate, like a bookie. They're bookies.
Yep.
And then they sort of want to. It's just their slow progression up the ranks of the British gangster scene. A family, and they sort of take over Birmingham, and then exponentially grow. And there's a lot of killing and great cliffhanger sort of. Yeah, it'll keep you watching once you get into it.
Sort of like Tom Waterhouse's family, Gay Waterhouse.
Yeah, it's exactly like Tom Waterhouse, Gay Waterhouse. Yeah.
I mean, we're not associated with them, but if they'd like to,
we don't want to start a
a legal thing. But also, if they want to put some of their dirty mafia money into our podcast, we would happily accept that.
They could definitely bring us down.
Oh, 100%.
Like financially.
That's right.
They've got...
Hey, look, we're two guys in a fucking garage.
I was at a race meeting once and she had a horse that was just racing in a race. And like 5 minutes before the race, she just fucking flew her helicopter out to like country Victoria, landed in the middle like a lady and then watched the horse win and then just
got in it and left.
She patted the horse. Yeah, good boy. And jumped in the helicopter and fucked right off back home. Imagine if you could do that.
Excuse me.
Warm up the helicopter, boys. My horse runs in half an hour.
I've heard of a helicopter pilot that is a friend of mine.
Right.
Says every time he starts that thing, it cost him $7,000.
Him 7,000. Her 7,000.
He's a helicopter pilot.
Yeah.
And he said every time he starts the helicopter up, it's costing $7,000
for him in his pocket.
And I don't know the full thing, but I would imagine he's like fees and you know trying to blah blah and fuel for the fucking thing. But
would you pay registration for?
I suppose
Vic Roads,
Chopper
Vic Air,
yeah. What is the governing body for that? I'd love to know.
You'd definitely have to pay some sort of fee.
You would
to keep the air.
Well, like you don't want to crash. I find it amazing that people can crash in midair. That's a big fucking landscape, right? How can you possibly be going in the same
plane
spot?
crashing into a plane?
Like,
does that happen a lot?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I mean, what's the odds on that? I'm sure it happens a lot less frequently than car collisions, but who knows how often.
But they've got to be like if you're in the air traffic control, you've got to have your wits that two planes aren't coming in, don't you? You'd be like, that's like when you're coming in to land somewhere. They're like, just keep circling. This like we come into London, we circled it for about 45 minutes.
You wait to fucking land.
Yeah, it's like where we've got heaps of traffic built up. So it's just
like,
one after the other. So I could see how it would happen because planes are just circling and there's like 50 of them just waiting to fucking land.
But it's called a flight plan, not a flight improvisation. They should know these fucking people are coming in and have it dialed in, right? You would imagine.
Yeah, but then shit happens on the runway.
Yeah, right.
They've got to bank it up or bad weather, inclement weather.
Yeah.
So they're going to be like, just wait.
Well, any wonder there's bad weather if there's 25 fucking planes creating a fucking hurricane around the airport. No shit, there's bad weather.
Flying used to terrify me, but I've gotten used to it.
Would you ever skydive?
Would I ever? Yeah, I think I would. I think I would. I think I'd just... You'd have to physically push me out of the plane once I was up there. But
I reckon you would do it.
But bungee jumping, I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't bungee jump?
No. But I'd skydive because you get time to find religion on the way down if you have to, you know. Bungee jumping, you don't get time to thank Jesus and look, I'm sorry I didn't believe in you and stuff like that. But skydiving, you've got a bit of time to come to terms with the death.
That's funny. No, I'd be happy. I'd be happy to do it. I'd do it now. If that door opened up and it was the back of a plane, I'd jump out and make someone chase me down and put a fucking shoot on me.
Would you really?
It'd be great.
Is that what you...
That'd be a thrill.
Yeah, it would be.
That's it. I mean, I'd be quite happy to physically slip tar-like shit from my pants as I flew down because that's what's going to happen. But, but
I would want to empty the guts before I went into the plane for sure, 100%. Because like there'd be no control. I'd be physically ill. Up there.
I'd love to go on the Vomit Comet. Have you heard of that? It's the parabolic flight. So basically, they fly the plane up as far as they can, and then they get to the top, and then they turn the engine off, and you just go when you're at free fall speed. So when the plane's at free fall speed, you're all falling at the same speed.
Is it anti-gravity?
Take
no gravity.
You float around like you're in space.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be sick to go to. Think about people. There's people. I watched a live stream the other day of these two women in space fixing this fucking the International Space Station, and I'm like, how cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
They're in a thing that's probably as big as a house and a half, maybe two houses or whatever, and they're just like clipped onto the outside with a couple of fucking ropes, just fixing shit. Amazing. How good is that? I'd go to space.
Yeah, that'd be fun as.
I mean, just for a holiday. Well, it's not really a holiday because you have to work. You just breathe,
Yeah, and you can't just go down to the shops.
Nah, that's right. You got to bring.
It'd be kind of shitty, I reckon.
You got to know what you're doing every moment till you're up there.
Yeah. I read this fact. I don't know if it's true that NASA wanted to be able to write in space, and pens don't work because the ink doesn't settle.
That's true.
So I think they spent like a ridiculous amount of money coming up with this pen.
A pressurized pen.
Yeah.
I believe that's a true story.
But the Russians just took a grey lead
pencil, which is a bad idea. You know why?
Why is that?
Because all of the graphite that comes straight off the pencil goes and gets stuck in. The graphite's conductive.
Does it really?
Not a good idea, yeah. So
Is that
they
what
did
happened to
consider
Yuri?
that. That's what happened to Yuri. That's right. They had to lock him
He's
off.
doing a sketch on the way up.
He's just rubbing
He's up on the
smudging charcoal around and shit.
He's up on the graphite, Yuri.
Yeah, fucking hell. No, do you reckon they're going to get to Mars? Like they're talking about doing this Mars one.
Yeah.
I think it might have been a bit of a advertising campaign.
I remember when I was like very young
Mm-hmm.
and I was watching. I was reading magazines and they were talking about by 2020 we're going to be on Mars,
Bullshit. Yeah.
and it's 2020 and it ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
And I was like excited. I was like 2020, that's so far in the future.
Mm.
I don't think this will happen. You know,
And you were right.
and I was right.
You're right about one of those things.
Do you think it will happen?
Nah. I don't think
Ever?
it'll happen. No. Not my lifetime. I don't believe it'll happen. And I'll tell you why. People are inherently lazy.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you can make money from that, and that's what people who have money want, more money.
Mm.
There's no way you can monetize that. You can't just go, all right, guys, we're going to Mars. It's going to cost you $4 million each, because that wouldn't even cover the fuel. So I think that every generation has this 30 years we're going to have flying cars bullshit. And it happens all the time. I remember when I was a kid, Dad said, 30 more years we'll have flying cars. Well, I'm 31 years old, mate. Where the fuck is my car? Not that I feel
Flying
entitled
car,
to one, but he was told that when he was a kid. 30 years, the technology's gone so quick. We've just got coal now. Whoa, what's next? Flying cars or something?
But I think it's like Elon Musk never really does anything for the profit. Like he does,
He makes
in a way.
motherfucker makes money.
But I think if he makes money. Yeah. But I think if he's going to Mars, he'll go to Mars. If he can do it. If he has the money sitting there and he has the resources, he'll do it.
Yeah,
He's the kind of guy.
I reckon
that
if
will do
anyone's going to do it, it'll be someone like that.
Yeah.
But I just don't know that
He
people are
thinks
gonna
it
go
will happen.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. There's people taking candidates for that, and but who knows if they're going to get there. I just feel like it's a great idea of getting people to kind of understand the possibilities that we are capable of as a race, and going, listen, we don't need to be fighting these people to get their fucking goo out of the ground and killing their families and killing their children.
Yeah.
How about we focus on something else? I'm not saying we should go to Mars and mine that for its oil that we can come back and put into our atmosphere, but I'm saying maybe we should think about this as an interplanetary system that we can, go and enjoy, because we're just humans. We don't have to work all day. We can go and enjoy things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like ultimate, people are like, I'm just going to retire and travel. It's like, well, yeah, why don't the human race retire and travel to other planets? You know what I mean? Like we can still keep shit running, but we can also go around space and see all the space aliens and shit.
Space aliens.
I love them. And that's the thing is that, maybe we're the space aliens. We can be the space aliens. Let's go.
Yeah, well, they're
and
not
be
going to
space
be
aliens.
the aliens. They're going to have a name for themselves, aren't
Yeah,
they?
exactly. They're not going to be called, we're aliens, because alien means to alienate. You know what I mean? To be alienated.
It's us, the aliens.
If you are alien to a place, it means you are unfamiliar to that area, I suppose.
Do you reckon there's aliens on Mars? Like you went there and there'd be like in little bugs?
Well, not maybe not life forms, but yeah, there's alien rocks because they're from
What? But
Mars.
isn't there like a
Bloody
layer?
Martians.
There's like a layer of water underneath in the core.
Oh, I believe there's some water there. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's frozen, lakes of ice or whatever. But like that motherfucker gets hot and cold. Like it's because it's got no atmosphere. It's got no insulator. But I'd go there.
Space aliens.
Excuse me. Oh,
You would
early
go
start.
there? Yeah. early start.
I'd go there if it was like. Look, you know what? I probably wouldn't.
You wouldn't go.
Yeah, I don't want to go to
I wouldn't
Mildura.
I wouldn't go there.
I don't want to go to fucking. I don't want to go. I've got synths to play with.
You can't come back.
Mm.
You can't come back. You might feel it for like a year.
Yeah.
It's like joining the army and then like you get 5 years in and go, actually, I don't really like doing this. I
I'll
wanna
just
go
take my
home.
paycheck and leave. But you can't just jump really high on Mars and get home, can you?
No, you're staying there forever.
That's it.
Even if they want to get you back, I think that'll take years and years and years.
Did you see that movie, The Martian, with Matt Damon? What did you reckon?
Good movie, I suppose.
It was a good movie as a movie, but everyone was like, oh, it's really like scientifically accurate. And I'm like, no, it isn't. None of the people. No, I mean, like
Neil deGrasse Tyson's arrived.
I was looking at the attitudes of the people, and I'm like, you wouldn't have a guy who is so intelligent. For one, astronauts aren't rock stars. You never see an arrogant astronaut. You never see someone who is like so full of his own shit that he's like, yeah, He's like doing gang signs. He's like, "Yo, I'm the smartest man on Mars. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
All this
Well,
kind of
he
shit.
wasn't like that though.
He was. He was like, "Yeah,
He wasn't doing gang
He was
signs.
doing gang signs. Don't you remember this?
Wasn't he
He was
planting
throwing
fucking
gang
potatoes?
signs. Yeah, he planted potatoes. Like, yeah, I'm a fucking first person to eat on Mars. Yeah, 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 man, bro.
It was like they like injected comedy into that movie.
Exactly.
They shouldn't have.
And it was fuckheaded. I was like,
Yeah, it was
fuck off.
fuckheaded. Yeah.
No, look, it was fine. I liked it. I liked it as a movie. It was really good. But yeah, it was just an interesting one that it was pinned for its scientific accuracy, but at the same time, you can't just Iron Man your hand, like poke a hole in it like Iron Man and shoot. You just go, you just die.
Did you watch Gravity? That was
I couldn't do it. George Clooney and Sandra Bullock are the most unbelievable actors. I can't believe them as anything other than unbelievable people because they don't look like normal people. You know what I mean? They don't look like you and me. I can't empathize with them.
I don't find Sandra Bullock to be overly.
I don't know how she
good.
has a career. Actually, I do know how she has a career. And it's certainly not because she's in great movies. It's because she works all the time.
Yeah.
She's in 2 movies a year. She's in so many fucking movies. She's been in more movies with Ryan Reynolds than Danny DeVito's been in with fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. which is 2?
2, maybe 2.
But like she is on at one like there's if you think of a white poster with people standing back to back like this with a red
Looking
sans writing.
off balance.
That's the first word of the movie is in thin and the second one is in bold. That's every movie she is in. And she's in a lot of movies. But the thing is, and like I say, I'm not going to criticize her because credit to her. She's in $1 million movies twice a year and she's never not working. She's also apparently very humble to the point that she won a Razzie for one of the movies she was in and she showed up to accept the award. You know the Razzies.
What's a Razzie?
Razzies are like raspberry.
Oh, right.
So
and
they
she
called
showed
her
up to
raspberries.
get it.
She won a Razzie and she showed up to accept the award and made a
In
speech.
humour?
Yeah, fuck yeah, in humour. And she showed up to she didn't give a
Legend.
fuck. She got paid her $20 million for the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's in a heap of movies. But like when I saw Gravity, I watched like the first 40 minutes and I just was like, oh, I can't do this because like.
Well, I only brought it up because it's scientifically inaccurate. You know?
Well, that's the thing. Everyone was going, "Oh, it's just like what would happen," and I'm like, "Hang on, who are you?" Or what? Like, obviously, I don't know any better, but I'm like,
No, I
just
learned
the
it off
guys
a
at the pub
scientist.
going, yeah, no, I've seen gravity. No, it's all up in space, and like, there's no explosions in space, so they don't have any. And I'm like, yeah, but that whole first scene was just Transformers, but with people.
Yeah, like there's fire and like
Yeah,
stuff like that.
it was
yeah.
fucking stupid, but
You can't have fire, can you? Or
No.
it wouldn't be that long lasting
yeah, I don't know
because it's oxygen and then it would dissipate.
I wouldn't even hazard a fucking
Guess on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I'm
even,
pretending.
Nah, well, that's okay. Hey, you can live in a.
But I
live a
know
lie
one
if you
thing.
want.
She was freaking out because she was spinning away.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was spinning like as if she was going upside down and
Nah, you'd
and
spin
then
in one
normal.
direction, yeah.
Close your eyes.
Yeah,
Because
You're
you wouldn't be
space.
spinning.
That's right.
It's not relative. There's no up or down.
No,
Fucking piece
I
of
mean
shit.
you'd probably get dizzy, but I've never been in anti-gravity.
Only if you could see something that kept going
Past your
past
face.
your face. Yeah. Yeah, but you'd probably get. I don't think you would get dizzy.
Do you
Because it'd be as if that's moving.
Yeah, pretty much. You're staying still. You're just kind of like. I wonder. Do you
Yeah.
reckon like the fluid in your ears would go towards the outside or whatever? Who knows? I don't know. Probably not because there's no gravity.
No gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Everything would just be like if we were. It wouldn't even be like if we're sitting here. It'd be like
Yeah.
we're floating.
Do you ever watch those like I don't know if it's like Vox or someone who does them? It's like experts react to movies. So this one was like astronaut reacts to shit like Gravity and what was that movie with Matthew McConaughey? I really liked that one. It was a Chris Nolan movie. It was a wacky-
Interstellar.
Yeah, it was wacky
We're going
as fuck.
Interstellar.
And I didn't like everyone who watches it. It's like it's like Rick and Morty is like The Simpsons, but for smart people. Those kind of people. They're like, yeah, no, I really like. I understood. Yeah, no,
Wankers.
I understood Interstellar first try. Like, I didn't have to watch it a second time to pick up on all the stuff. I just got it. It's like, no, you didn't. You fucking.
You
idiot.
still don't get it.
Yeah, you watched it twice and you still don't get it. No one gets it. That's fine.
They made it up.
Did you like the cool pictures because it was lights on the screen? I liked it. I liked it.
Like that makes no sense. Still,
Yeah.
It's like it's a good.
It's a time travel movie.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a good premise. It's a good like sci-fi premise.
But I wonder if Chris Nolan even understood it because no one else did.
There's a lot of cool things like the close to the black hole, so they lost all that time.
That was awesome. And the bookshelf thing, everyone thought was stupid. I'm like, that's great. I love it. It's strings. It's cool.
Yeah, it's like a time like
Yeah. weird.
How do you
library.
explain it? It's like
It's kind of like imagine if you had a
time isn't a constant.
No. It's something
be-
that you can travel through and dimensionally. And the thing is, I had no idea that there was some kind of apparent extraterrestrial interaction in that movie. I just thought
And
it
they
was
were holding hands.
yeah, no, but I mean, like apparently the part where he goes into the little fourth dimensional area where he can go between the times and stuff like that. Apparently that was aliens showing him something. I didn't get that. I just thought he was fucking going through a vortex and tripping the fuck out. But like everything, if you think of this, you can probably look up the scene. But
Oh no, yeah, they kept showing him the different
points
the
in
his
junctions,
life.
yeah. And that
Because
was
they
like,
kept distorting and changing, and they threw. I think at one point they threw him through to another place.
yeah, and they made him knock books over or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, but like I love time travel movies. Just well, I don't know why, but I think I realized it when I was a kid that I every time I liked a movie, I just happened to like a movie. I'm like, there's time travel in that movie. Back to the Future when I was a kid, The Terminator 2, all these movies that I was watching, I was like, Hot Tub Time Machine is fucking amazing. Like, I love that movie. I think it's like a stupid thing to say that you really enjoy, but I didn't see the second one, but I really enjoyed that movie. Like,
Yeah,
I thought that was fucking cool because everyone
time travel is the coolest thing imaginable. Like,
It's so cool.
if you could have something, that's probably the thing that you'd have, isn't it? It's like, because then
the ability to change things and have unfounded knowledge. You know what I mean?
yeah, you could just go. Imagine like just going back to check up on shit, or going forward just to see how things are going. Oh, I don't like this.
Yeah, fuck. It's so amazing. But like everybody has something, I suppose they'd love to change in the past or
Kill Hitler.
Kill Hitler. But like everyone says, I'd go back and kill Hitler. And it's like,
Okay, get to him.
yeah, go on, you get to it. But like, you can't just make calls like that because you got to leave history as it is. But wouldn't it be good, for example, to go back and like just buy $1,000 in shares in Apple in 2000?
Then come back.
You know what I mean? That's all you need.
But then
Buy them in
if you come
Google.
back, would your bank account be massive? And
Oh,
you'd
fuck yeah.
live in a different
Absolutely.
house when you return.
Oh, no, but that's you'd have to. You probably have to stay. I think
live it
time
out.
travel would be a one-way trip.
Yeah.
It'd have to be. I'd love to go back far enough that I could falsify documents so that I could live as a child and as an adult with a different name, like without being caught. Because now, obviously, it's really hard. I suppose it would be really hard to falsify a document. But back in the day, you could just kind of like we're talking about New York gangster stuff back in when they were building the fucking Brooklyn Bridge and shit like that. There's just fathers who would fuck off for a pack of cigarettes and never come back, and they'd find them 30, 40 years later, living 6 blocks away, and they've lived there for the whole time with a new family. Like you could just up and leave. You could keep the same name, and people wouldn't know where you fucking lived.
Oh, now it's
like
on
yeah.
record.
Now it's like you got a chip on your fucking knob that tells you everything you've ever eaten.
If you really wanted to remove yourself, you'd have to go to a completely different foreign country, and not if you live in the Western world, you'd have to
They'd still
go
get
away.
you because you'd be the only whitey there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'd still get you. There's nothing you can do now.
They got Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
Fuck's
Oh,
sake.
fucking, he was hiding in a fucking. No, that was Saddam Hussein was hiding in a fucking hole the size of this table.
Yeah, he was there for ages.
Yeah.
Imagine the stench that man would have had when they got him out. I mean, like,
I reckon he would have smelt what like Zach Galifianakis looks like.
Do you think Zach Galifianakis, like fat Zach Galifianakis, stinks?
Yeah, I think skinny Zach Galifianakis looks like he stinks more because he looks emaciated. Like he looks like he spent time on the streets.
Yeah.
He looks like, you remember when Joaquin Phoenix let himself go?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he looks like. That's Zach Galifianakis normally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you saying?
About the space aliens or the...
Just before Joaquin and... Oh, Osama, yeah.
Yeah, like...
They got him in that house.
They found him there.
They found him in a house in the middle of Pakistan.
Did you see that Donald Trump thing about the dog? Like he doxed this like military dog that killed...
They chased that dude.
Al Habibi or something like that. I don't know.
He was like the leader of ISIS.
Yeah, something like that. And he's like saying, this dog, this magnificent dog, a good boy, he'll be looked after tonight and all this kind of shit. And the army's going, shut the fuck up. We're going to have to kill the dog. If you keep this shit up, you can't. This is classified, like top secret stuff you're not supposed to talk about. And here you are telling everyone the dog's name and what it looks like. And I got a picture of me with the dog. And
he's like, the dog chased him down a tunnel.
Yeah.
And he shielded himself behind two children.
Yeah.
Like the coward, like he's calling him a coward, and then he started begging for his life like a dog, and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know. I kind of half liked the way he did that. Like
I mean, like
he was mocking the way he was making fun of the way that guy died, which I suppose,
which of course,
he called
lovely.
him I think he called him a dog.
Yeah.
Or something.
But that's funny when people call you a dog,
doesn't
right?
usually do that.
Someone goes, "You fucking dog, mate." I go, "Oh wow, thank you for calling me a loyal companion to man, you dickhead." Don't call people. Don't use dog as a derogatory term. You fuckhead. Fuckhead's better.
I like dogs.
I love dogs. Yeah, I reckon dogs are better than people.
Most of the time, yeah.
If I called someone a dog, I wouldn't call them that derogatorily.
Let's change it. Let's change
Take
it
it back.
to a good.
Yeah.
Let's make dog great again.
# make dog great again. Don't not make God great again. don't misspell it. But like, don't call someone a dog.
Don't do it.
Call them a fuckhead, because that's what they are essentially.
Exactly.
You're not a dog.
Remember
you're a
that.
fuckhead. I love it when people like. I think police are valued, and I love it when people call them "you copper dog." I just get a mental image of like a trophy of a dog made out of copper. I was like, that's gorgeous. What a copper dog
Look
trophy.
lovely on the mantelpiece.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Like, cops are there to help you, for one. They're not dogs, and if they were, they'd be loyal. And they have dogs.
Yeah.
You copper dog. And I'm what a shiny trophy.
People hate all cops. I don't know if that's necessarily a smart thing. There is fuckhead policemen.
Oh, of course there are, but they're fuckhead bakers too. There's some good ones.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. And they'll do their job wrong, and they'll utilise their power incorrectly.
I've got a friend who had a cop pull her over a couple of times, and then started trying to ask her out over Facebook.
Oh, yep.
What an abuse of power.
What'd she say? No.
Well, they're getting married in a week. No, that was a pretty hard no. But like when you try to intimidate somebody into
pulled her over, and then after that, pulled her over for legitimate offence?
Had pulled her over a couple of times for being on her phone while driving like an idiot.
Had pulled her over
for driving like an idiot.
Yeah.
And then had subsequently Facebook stalked her and asked her out on a date. Filthy dog.
It's disgusting.
A dog, bloody copper dog.
It's disgusting.
But like you say, for every fuckhead one, there's 0.2 of a good one. No, not really. That ratio's strange. No, but there's fuckhead ones, there's good ones. Just like anybody and anywhere, and anything,
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I suppose we should probably wrap it up there, Cody.
Yeah.
So, that's been episode 4, and we just want to thank everybody for coming along for the ride.
Exactly.
And I suppose we'll catch you guys next week for episode 5.
Yeah, no worries.
Congratulations on episode 4.
Congratulations. And if you're out there and you are enjoying the podcast, make sure you share it with your friends, family, or anyone, even people who won't like it. Give it to them.
Probably more so.
Yeah,
because people who get angry tend to interact more.
And you can really develop some good stuff from haters.
Yeah, play on their insecurity and share this to them, especially if they hate our face.
Yeah. In that case, go take a plate, go and collect as much human shit as you can.
Absolutely.
And pile it high.
Yep.
Sit down with a knife and fork and
a spoon.
In case for the sloppy bits.
Yep.
And just tuck into it.
Tuck in.
Because as far as I'm concerned, you can go and eat a big plate of shit if you don't like it.
I'm pretty happy with that too. See ya.
See ya.